week, on August 5, 2001, a small cable network called Odyssey quietly rebranded itself into something almost nobody at the time could have predicted would become a cultural institution. It became the Hallmark Channel, and this past week in New York City, 22 of the biggest stars this network has ever produced got on a stage together to celebrate exactly that. I have been putting off making this video because there was simply too much to cover properly, and I did not want to rush it. So this is the long version, the full history, the full birthday celebration. And every single Christmas movie Hallmark has confirmed so far for this year's countdown to Christmas, because there is a genuinely enormous amount of news to get through. And I think this milestone deserves the time. Let's start at the very beginning, because I think most Hallmark fans, even longtime ones, do not actually know the origin story of this network. Before it was Hallmark Channel, it was called the Odyssey Network, a channel that had spent years as a shared religious and family programming service. On August 5, 2001, it relaunched under the Hallmark name, and the very first thing it aired to introduce itself to America was a 6-hour original miniseries called The Infinite Worlds of H.G. Wells. That is not the cozy Christmas movie image most of us associate with this brand today, but it tells you something important. From day one, this was a network built specifically around the idea that accessible, positive, family-friendly storytelling deserved a dedicated home on cable television. And for a long time, that was simply what Hallmark was. A general family entertainment channel, the thing that actually turned Hallmark into the cultural phenomenon we know now, did not arrive until 2009, when the network launched something called Countdown to Christmas. I genuinely think that decision is one of the most successful programming bets in the history of American cable television. What started as a modest holiday movie block eventually became the entire identity of the network in the public imagination. Ask anyone under 40 what Hallmark Channel is, and I promise you the first thing out of their mouth involves Christmas movies. Even though Christmas programming did not exist for the network's first 8 years on air, 25 years of existing as a network, 17 of those years spent building what has become the single most recognizable holiday programming brand in the country. So when Hallmark decided to celebrate this anniversary, they did not do it quietly. On July 7, the network announced it was throwing an event called Hallmark Channel's 25th Birthday, a quarter century of feel-good television, in partnership with 92NY, scheduled for Tuesday, August 4 in New York City. And what was originally announced as a single night ended up expanding into a full 2-day celebration. It sold out completely. I want to walk you through exactly what happened at that event, because I think it says something genuinely meaningful about what this network has built. 22 of Hallmark's biggest stars were there in person. Allison Sweeney, Andie MacDowell, Andrew Walker, Ashley Williams, Autumn Reeser, Barbara Niven, Benjamin Ayres, BJ Britt, Erin Cahill, Heather Hemmons, Holly Robinson Peete, Jonathan Bennett, Kimberly Sustad, Lacey Marilu Henner, Niall Matter, Nikki DeLoach, Scott Michael Foster, Tamara Mowry Housley, Tyler Hynes, Wes Brown. That is essentially a full generation of Hallmark, leading men and women standing on the same stage together, many of whom have starred opposite each other in decades worth of movies, but had genuinely never all been in the same room at once. The event itself was structured around 3 full panels, moderated by People magazine's Brianne Heldman, with stars sharing behind-the-scenes stories and reflecting on what the past 25 years have actually meant to them personally and professionally. And here is the detail that I think tells you everything about how this celebration was actually built. Hallmark also brought its writers. Not just the actors whose faces we all recognize, but the people who have spent decades quietly writing the scripts that built this entire brand from the ground up. I honestly love that detail more than almost anything else about this event because it is so easy for an anniversary celebration like this to become purely about star power. Hallmark chose to also honor the people who made all of it possible from behind the page. And then, because apparently a sold-out 2-day celebration with 3 panels was not quite enough, they put everyone on a boat. Literally. The stars, the crew, and a room full of actual fans were sailed down the Hudson River together while someone performed an original song written specifically for the occasion. I do not know exactly what that song sounded like, but I genuinely wish I had been on that boat. There was also a genuinely exciting, exclusive reveal for the people who attended. Guests at the 92NY event got the very first look at an upcoming Hallmark Plus limited series called Paris is Always a Good Idea, a 6-episode book-to-screen adaptation starring Lacey and Scott Michael Foster, filmed across Ireland, France, and Spain. If you have been a Hallmark fan for any length of time, you know exactly what it means that this was the surprise saved specifically for the anniversary crowd. This is not just another Christmas movie. This is Hallmark using its 25th birthday to signal that it is investing in bigger, more ambitious international storytelling as it heads into its second quarter century. And this birthday celebration was not an isolated event either. It is actually the middle piece of an entire calendar of 2026 fan events Hallmark has built around this milestone year. Just before the New York celebration, the network ran Hallmark Stars Live, a 10-city tour that ran from July 22 through August 2, putting stars directly in front of fans across the country in the lead up to the anniversary event itself. Later this fall, expect a dedicated kickoff event for Countdown to Christmas. In October, 18 stars will set sail together for the 3rd annual Hallmark Christmas Cruise. And once the holiday season actually arrives, the Hallmark Christmas experience returns to Kansas City with a different rotating lineup of stars appearing across 4 separate weekends. This anniversary year is not one party. It is an entire season of them. Now let's get into what I actually think most of you clicked on this video for, because Hallmark did not just celebrate its past at this event. It used the occasion to start revealing its future, and the amount of information that came out of this week alone is genuinely more than the network usually gives us this early in the year. First, the biggest structural news. Countdown to Christmas 26 officially kicks this off on Saturday, October 17. This will be Hallmark's 17th annual Countdown to Christmas, and according to reporting from The Wrap, at least 30 new original movies are expected across this holiday season, which would make it larger slate of 24 films. That is a meaningful jump, and I think it tells you Hallmark is treating this anniversary year as an opportunity to go bigger rather than simply repeat what has worked before. Let's talk about the 3 collaboration movies first, because Hallmark has clearly spaced these very deliberately across the entire season rather than clustering them together. The first is Holiday Touchdown, a Bears love story starring Rob Buckley and Lindsay Fonseca, made in partnership with the NFL. This is actually the 3rd consecutive year Hallmark has done one of these NFL collaboration films, and it wrapped filming in Chicago in late July. And here is the detail that surprised me. This movie is not just part of the October slate. It is literally the film that kicks off Countdown to Christmas itself on October 17. Hallmark is opening its entire holiday season with a football romance. The second collaboration movie is Holiday Ever After, a Disney World wish come true, starring Lacey and Travis Van Winkle. This is Hallmark's first ever direct partnership with Disney, and it has been confirmed for a Thanksgiving weekend premiere on November 28. Given how much anticipation has already built around this one since it was first teased, I think this is going to be one of the most talked about movies of the entire season. The third collaboration film is A Grand Biltmore Christmas, starring Holland Roden, Neil Matter, Andy McDowell, and Jonathan Frakes. This one premieres December 5, and Hallmark specifically timed that date to coincide with weekend 2 of the Hallmark Christmas Experience in Kansas City, where Roden and Matter are scheduled to make appearances. So if you are planning to attend that event this year, that particular weekend is going to be built directly around this movie's release. Now, beyond those 3 collaboration films, Hallmark's original first look promo also revealed 6 additional new Christmas movies, each with confirmed casting. The Nights Before Christmas stars Tyler Hynes and Lacey J. Mailey, and based on everything described so far, it is being built around a Groundhog Day style time loop premise applied to a Christmas romance. Given how much I have talked about Tyler Hynes on this channel already, including everything he has been through this year personally, I genuinely think this is going to be one of the most anticipated performances of his entire Hallmark career. Christmas in Blue Dog Valley pairs Erin Cahill and Andrew Walker. Christmas Delivered stars Autumn Reeser and Wes Brown. And My Christmas Cowboy stars Amy Acker and Luke McFarlane. This one was actually filmed back in May in Kelowna, British Columbia, under the working title A Cowboy for Christmas, before Hallmark revealed the final title during its Countdown to Christmas promo. Fans had already spotted the cast filming at local spots around Kelowna, including a coffee house that shut down for an entire day specifically for the shoot. And then there is a 7th new pairing that was announced specifically at the 92NY anniversary event itself, separate from the original 6-movie first look promo. Allison Sweeney and Ashley Williams are reuniting for a brand new Christmas movie together. Williams shared the news herself on Instagram, and she was very specific about what fans should expect. She said this new film features entirely new characters and a completely different story from their previous pairing, but that it captures everything fans loved about their earlier Barcelona movies, now with a holiday twist. If you remember Sweeney and Williams' international movies together, I think that description alone should tell you exactly how excited to be about this one. Hallmark also used this week to reveal 2 brand new Halloween movies, which is a genuinely newer tradition for this network compared to its decades of Christmas programming. A Night to Remember, based on the Bryn Donovan novel Her Night at the Museum, premieres October 3. And The Spirit of Halloween follows exactly 1 week later on October 10. Both of these arrive before Countdown to Christmas even officially begins on October 17, which means Hallmark's fall slate is genuinely packed from the very start of October all the way through the end of December. And I want to bring in one more piece of news that I think matters enormously to a lot of you watching this, because it connects directly to something we have talked about at length on this channel already. Lori Loughlin's Garage Sale Mystery franchise is officially returning this September, ending a 6-year gap since the last installment. If you have been following Loughlin's comeback story with me, her return to When Calls the Heart for season 14, everything she has said publicly about being welcomed back into the Hallmark family, this is the next confirmed chapter of that story, and it is arriving even before Countdown to Christmas itself begins. Before we even get to October, Hallmark also has an entire late summer through fall bridge slate it calls Fall Into Love, running from August through the first half of October to carry viewers from the end of Christmas in July all the way to the official countdown to Christmas kickoff. That block leans heavily on When Calls the Heart alumni and includes several new pairings beyond everything I have already covered. So if you are the kind of viewer who does not want a single weekend without a new Hallmark premiere, this network has genuinely built its entire fall calendar to make sure that never happens. So here is where all of this actually leaves us. A network that started in 2001 as a rebrand of a religious programming channel, built almost by accident into the single most recognizable Christmas movie brand in America, starting in 2009, and is now, 25 years later, celebrating that entire journey with sold-out events, a boat ride down the Hudson, an original commission song, and a holiday slate bigger than anything it has produced before. 30-plus movies, 3 major collaboration films spaced deliberately across the season, 7 newly confirmed pairings and counting, 2 Halloween premieres, the long-awaited return of an entire mystery franchise. And Hallmark has explicitly said the complete lineup is not even fully revealed yet. More titles are expected to keep rolling out through mid-September. I have been covering this network's shows for a long time now, and I honestly do not think I have ever seen Hallmark treat a single year with this much scale and this much intention. 25 years is a genuinely rare thing for any television network to reach, let alone one built entirely around the idea that people still want to feel good when they turn on their television. And based on everything revealed this week, Hallmark is not slowing down as it heads into its second quarter century. If anything, it looks like it is just getting started. Countdown to Christmas 2026 officially begins Saturday, October 17 on Hallmark Channel, with the full remaining lineup expected to be announced by mid-September.